Hello. How's it going, guys? Let me know if my audio's okay. Let me know if the music's too loud. Welcome in, welcome in. How you doing? Come on in. Lataro, good to see you. How you doing? Dropped all my stuff. Cyclonus, hello. Lataro, you're at work, but the last 30 minutes are always party time. Awesome. Does that mean it's 4:30 where you are? Do you get off at 5? They don't pay me enough to put effort. Understandable. Okay, gotcha. So there's a 5-hour time difference. Good to know. Good to know. So we've got Kingzilla, we've got Lataro, we've got Cyclonus. Thanks for popping by. It's the first time I've streamed in the middle of the day. I'm off work this week, so I wasn't sure anybody would show up. Figured everyone was busy with work or school, but cool. Good to have you guys here. Let me get myself set up here. I've got a whole bunch of things. All right. Can you see that okay? Oh god. I meant to say 8:30 a.m. PT. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta fix that. That's gonna bug me. All this crap. That's the one thing I think I forgot to fix that here. And let's get back up. Perfect. There we go. All right, gang. Please do let me know if the music in the background is too loud. I will turn it down. We'll turn it off. But today, in just 25 minutes and change, Titanic Creation is going to be launching their second niche obscure kaiju crowdfund. And this figure is going to be Yongary, which I had never heard of actually before Titanic Creations started promoting it, that they were going to be working on it. Welcome in, Spidey Knight. Good to see you. Name. Good to see you too. Boogie Woogie, indeed. So yes, in just 25 minutes, Yonggary will go up on Titanic Creations website for order, and the crowdfund will be up for 60 days, so through to the end of June. There is no incentive to join right at the beginning. It's not like, oh, you have to do it back within the first week or the first 3 days. in order to qualify for anything. Toku Society, always happy to see you. I hope that your new computer fund is going well. Last I remember, it was over the halfway point. So hopefully you're close there. Spidey Knight. So this is Yonggary. This is a Korean kaiju from the movie Yongary, Creature of the Deep, I think it's called. Full disclosure, as I was saying, I didn't know that this thing existed. I didn't know this was a movie or a character until Titanic Creations started promoting it. You can actually, if you are in North American Netflix, it might be elsewhere too. I'm not sure. I can't speak to it. But if you go to Mystery Science Theater on Netflix, they have an episode on Yongary. So they actually go through the whole movie with commentary. But you can actually watch this movie on Netflix. It's one of the kaiju movies of all time. It's not great, but the creature design is really cool. Reptilian, isn't this Reptilian? He might have a different name elsewhere. Because sometimes, by region, they change the names. But no, the original name is Yonggary. Psychosis made was, I think it's 67. Last I remember, it was 67. I could be wrong, though. Again, very new to Yonggary. I love the creature design. I think the creature design is really cool. And that's why I think it's going to be a figure worth picking up. I skipped their initial Gorgo, but it seemed that people got the Gorgo in hand and then they really liked it. And then they did a comic version of Gorgo with fewer accessories, but also a lower price tag. It was like $40 less, something like that. Courageous Frights coming in clutch with the answers. Yonggary is from 1967. Reptilian was the 1999 remake, in quotation marks, if you want to call it that. I heard that the remake was like completely different and was not really, it didn't really capture Yonggary and the spirit of Yonggary. I think Yonggary got a G98 ripoff movie called Reptilian. Look it up. There's definitely a trailer on YouTube. I will definitely look it up afterward. Cool. All right, gang. So we've got just over 20 minutes to go. So let's go through what we know about this crowdfund. So the base figure, everything you see here, which is just Yonggary himself, this goes into production at the 200 order mark. The price is $100, $100 US per shipping. I believe they ship worldwide. The shipping to Canada is brutal, to be honest with you. But if this figure goes into production, Titanic Creations' goal is to get this into your hands by Q4 2024, so end of this year. I think they said that if it goes all the way through to June, if it takes all the way to June to enter production, then it's going to be estimated to land around November. So the happier that it gets funded, the quicker that it gets funded, the faster we can get this figure into our hands. 200 backers, base figure, 6 inches tall, standard articulation scheme, what you can expect from something like I would say like a NECA figure, if anyone has the old NECA figures. Maybe something resembling Haya, but maybe not quite as articulated as Haya. If you do have a NECA figure, I do think that that's going to be your closest proxy for what kind of articulation you can expect. Tail is going to be fully segmented, no bendy wires, and looks good. So let's say we cross the hurdle 200, and then we get to 250 backers. That's when the Flame Breath accessory gets added. And this accessory plugs directly into a port, in Yonggary's mouth, which is accurate to the movie. The movie you can actually see like the flamethrower tube that they use to make the special effect in the movie. So this ports right into his mouth. You don't need any kind of stand, just goes right in. So this is 250 backers. You'll be able to add the Flame Breath accessory. And as these accessories get added, the price does not change. So it's $100 US for the base figure. Everything else gets added at no additional cost to the customer. At 300 backers, you get the removable laser horn accessory. And so the way this works is it's sculpted into the horn itself, and the horn detaches from the base. So we would have interchangeable horns. Again, no stand or anything like that necessary. You get the laser horn accessory. You can also kind of see here that flamethrower port where the breath effect would plug in. So even if this figure doesn't make the 250 backers, if they get to 200 but they don't get to 250, the figure will still have a port there. So maybe there's other effects that you can plug in as well. But the idea and the hope is that this thing gets as many backers as possible, and it will be designed to work with that kind of accessory. I don't know if it's like a 3.5mm port, like industry standard, so you could plug in other effects or other accessories in there. But that's the idea. Next up, 350 backers is a helicopter accessory. So this helicopter we see a couple of times throughout the movie. It drops the itchy powder on Yongary in the final act. And I think he kind of harasses Yongary earlier in the film as well. So it should be a decent size. I don't know. It might come with a flight stand. You'll have to look at the official page for details on this kind of thing. But if I remember correctly, they were trying to get flight stands for the jets for Gorgo, and then they didn't get them the way that they would have preferred. So they're hoping to get the flight stands that they want. If anybody has the Kong exclusive Kong figure from Godzilla vs. Kong, he comes with 3 little heave figures on like a bendy wire stand type thing. I think that's what they're hoping to include with this figure for the flight accessories. So 350 backers, you get a helicopter. At 400 backers, you get 3 of these tanks. I don't remember the exact model of these tanks, but Yonggary steps on them during the movie. They try to attack him. They do nothing to stop him. So 3 of these tanks will be added to the Kickstarter at the crowdfunding, I should say, because it's not being handled on Kickstarter. At the 400 backer mark, you get 3 of these tanks. You can display them with Yonggary. You can display them with other kaiju figures as well. Ladaro, those tanks are so cute. They are cute. Yeah, I've seen the 3D renders for these too. They look crisp. Okay, so past 400, 500 backers. You will get 3 of these jets. These jets attack Yonggary in the movie. I don't remember them actually being a scene where he holds them like this. And I don't even remember if this jet is to scale with what appears in the movie. But you will get 3 of these Air Force jets to display with Yonggary. And again, I think the idea is that they'll come with a posable, flexible flight stand of some sort. Stands with the jets. I think the intention is to get stands with the jets. I could be wrong on that. Please don't quote me. You have to pay attention to the official page. But I do believe the idea is, I mean, you have airborne vehicles. You need flight stands, right? They have to be flying. If they're on the ground, they're not doing much. But that is the hope, I think. Again, we'll need to look to the Titanic Creations team for official clarification. 600 backers. You will get 3 of these oil tankers. Now, I couldn't find a picture of Yonggary from the movie with these oil tankers, but in the movie, Yonggary drinks crude oil out of these tankers. Like he picks it up like a big beer and he just shotguns it back. So the idea is that there will be 3 of these included if the project hits 600 backers. Again, they'll look great with Yonggary. They'll look great with your other kaiju too. Here's where things get kind of wild. So in the movie, Yonggary attacks like a urban city in Korea. And so the Titanic Creations team, if this project hits 700 backers, is looking to include this gate, this structure in scale with Yonggary as a diorama piece, environment piece at the 700 backers point. So if 700 people order Yonggary, you will get this piece fully painted, fully detailed, thrown in the package for free. That's pretty cool, don't you think? When's the last time you got a kaiju figure from a company with like this many accessories? It's absurd. And the last one, if Yonggary gets all the way to 800 backers, he will include a destructible bridge from his final scene in the movie before he dies. Okay, Lataro, I don't count the 54 Mezco because it's not out yet. For all we know, it's never coming out. But if you have the Gorgo, if you have the first Gorgo articulated figure, then you remember the Big Ben was destructible. It could break into two pieces. So I think that's the same idea with this, is that you'll have a bridge that can break apart. Again, makes for a really cool backdrop for this figure or for other figures. So that's where we're at. Let's do a bit of a recap. So, base figure, 200 backers. This is what you get. Fully articulated 6-inch Yonggary. 250 backers, you get a flame breath. Ports right into the mouth. Don't need any additional stands, nothing like that. 300 backers, you get an interchangeable laser horn. You just plug the horn and remove the horn. 350 backers, you get a helicopter, which should be a pretty decent size in comparison to Yonggary's head, if I remember correctly. 400 backers, you get 3 of these tanks. The accessories will look as authentic as possible to the models used in the film. You'll get 3 of these jets. Again, I don't remember if the scaling is correct because this makes the jets look gigantic, and that's a lot of plastic to include, but we'll see. 600 backers, you get 3 of these oil tankers, which are going to be, again, proportionally large to Yonggary because they're quite big. At 700 backers, you get this structure, the Sungnam Gate, in scale with Yonggary. 800 backers, you get a destructible bridge, multiple pieces. You can display it as if it's completely normal, or you can display it as if somebody is destroying it. So that is the Yonggary crowdfund. This launches in about 13 minutes. And it will go $100 US plus shipping. If it hits the 200 backers it needs to start production by the end of June, then the target is for November of this year to arrive in customers' hands. Wait, the gate diorama, 700 backers. Yes, 700 backers, you get the gate as a diorama piece for free with the package. Is it the building on the right only, or the entire thing? It is just the building here. It is this gate building. Yeah, everything else that would require too much tooling. But no, it's just this structure. The notable structure from the movie. Yeah. Now, it's important to note that this is not the only project that Titanic Creations is working on right now in terms of articulated action figures. So in June, once Yonggary wraps up, the plan as of now, these things can change, is that June 18th, they will do their campaign for their articulated Pulgasari action figure. Pulgasari is another Korean kaiju. And if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, full disclosure, that this one will be this is a kaiju from a North Korean film. And from what I remember people saying, it's from a propaganda film. But I believe that Dope Pope has already sculpted this figure, what it's going to look like. But that's the idea. If Yonggary does well, if Yonggary succeeds, then Pulgasari will be the next one up. After that, Titanic Creations is looking to follow up Pulgasari with their own original kaiju called Titanicus in August 20th, 2024. If you are unfamiliar with this kaiju, you can go to TitanicCreations.com. He's like the mascot of the brand. They've got a few Titanicus figures already, but this would be the first articulated one. Didn't the director for Pulgasari get kidnapped and forced to direct? That's what I'm told. That's what I'm told. I've heard this. And I've heard that he made some creative decisions that he's lucky he was not executed for. So if that is not reason enough alone to pick up Pulgasari, I don't know what is. Hopefully Gappa is next year's project. They've been teasing Gappa on their Twitter page. I'm not too familiar with Gappa. I'm learning a lot through Titanic Creations campaigns. But I think, yeah, Gappa is the plan. But the thing is, it's contingent on the success of these projects, right? Like if Yongary fails, there's no reason to do Pulgasari, and probably very little reason to do Titanicus. Spidey Knight, I will get to your question shortly once sort of the meat and potatoes are talked about. Yes, the story behind Pulgasari is wild. Also, Toho was involved in the special effects, but I've never gotten the full story on that. Interesting. Interesting. I'm making a live action of Gappa. Cool. Yeah, I don't know very much about Gappa. I know very little about Pulgasari. Titanicus. Again, that's Titanic Creations' original kaiju. They have a graphic novel out right now. It's called Soul War. You can order it from their website if you want to see more. But Titanicus will have an articulation scheme very familiar to a 6-inch Godzilla figure. So again, fully segmented tail, sort of that, you know, if you have a Godzilla figure, you have a sense of what Titanicus is going to articulate like. We have very few details on it. We have very few details on either of these, like in terms of accessories or things like that. If you are familiar with, if you're familiar with Pulgasari, like the movie or whatever media he's in, or Titanicus's graphic novel, then you probably have an idea of what, kind of accessories would make sense. But here's the interesting thing, guys. Okay, here is probably the most exciting thing about the projects that Titanic Creations is working on. They're getting into those deep cuts. They're making the kaiju that are very obscure, not very popular, ones I've never heard of. Some of you may never have heard of these as well, although in the chat I know a lot of you do seem to know about it. But here's the most interesting thing. If you were paying attention to Titanic Creations' Instagram story, then you would have seen this. Titanic Creations is actively hoping to start a relationship with Toho. This means, if all goes well, they could start creating articulated action figures of Toho characters in some capacity. Now, it's important to realize that the way licensing works, you've got Monster Arts doing the 6-inch license. You've got Hiya Toys doing the 7-inch license. You've got Super 7 taking the 8-inch license for articulated action figures. What this means is that if Titanic Creations gets into the area of creating Toho kaiju articulated action figures, their licensing is going to probably be very obscure or very strict. So if you are familiar with YMSF3, he's creating soft vinyl Godzilla figures in Japan, but he doesn't sell them mass retail. Like you have to DM him, and he'll take your order if you PayPal him, and he'll ship it to you directly. He's officially licensed by Toho, but over in Japan, like Bandai's got the license for Godzilla like locked down really hard. But still, Toho is able to find licensing for small independent creators like YMSF3. So it is possible that Titanic Creations, if all goes well next month, will be able to start a relationship with Toho where they're able to get a license to make probably, I'm assuming they would be aiming for 6-inch articulated kaiju figures, but the nature of their release will be unique, let's say. So you probably won't see them at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. You probably won't see them mass retail. You'll probably see them similar to this, where they do their crowdfunds, they do direct to consumer, which helps to keep the costs down. But you will see them at a price point that you're probably uncomfortable with. So, if you like, let me be clear. If you are not in a position to support the company with these projects, that's totally fine. If you can promote them on Twitter, talk about them on YouTube, get the word out there. That's an amazing way to get conversations going around this company. I am going to be putting my money for Yongary in just a few minutes because I want to support the company. I think that they're doing good work. I have the comic book Gorgo on order. That should be coming in the next couple of months. I'll cover that on my channel, as well as talk about how like this company coming into the kaiju game, I think is one of the best things to happen to this community. But here's the hope. Like, who was it? Who said it? Larva Train. I don't know about you, but I think a Titanic Creations Varen would be amazing. That is probably not out of the realm of impossibility. It is within the realm of possibility that we will see a Titanic Creations Varen at some point in the coming years. I am so stoked for these guys. I hope that they do amazing. I hope that Yonggary does well. I hope it hits all of the goals. And I hope we get more figures. I don't know about Pulgasari, sorry. See, I can't even get the name straight. But I'm down for really cool Showa figures or like Showa inspired figures. Right? I'm down for a Titanicus because he looks like a cool kaiju. It's wild to me that like it's taken this long for someone to enter the market with like 6-inch articulated kaiju action figures. That would be awesome if they got the rights from Toho. Reptilicus would also be nice. I know Titanic was talking about that at one point, but I'm not sure about the licensing on that one. Yeah, so I asked them about this recently. And basically, Reptilicus is licensed by Sony. And Sony, as part of their licensing deal, they want an upfront payment for the license in addition to royalty fees, I believe. And so Titanic Creations is trying to grow as a company to the point where they can afford that upfront payment for the licensing fee. So the license is available. It's just really expensive. So again, like Yongary, Pulgasari, Titanicus, supporting these projects helps Titanic Creations grow to the point where they can get more and more licenses. They're also trying to get Cloverfield, which I am so stoked on. I think that we need another Cloverfield figure, because it's been what at this point 16 years, is that right? 16 years since the movie and the Hasbro figure. Ugh. Oh god, 16 years. So with that, I believe their website is about to update. Let's see if I can make sure I'm not sharing anything incriminating. Do you guys think that we can crash the website like Gorgo crashed? Oh, Yonggary is live, guys. Let me see. Yonggary is live. Here you go. Oh, look at the box art. Isn't that sick? Kaiju Kitty in the middle of a workout, but making time to get this. Hell yeah, dude. Look at that. That is so cool. This is probably... Oh my gosh. This is disorienting. This is probably closer to what the figure will look like in hand. Yongary stands 6 inches tall, 12 inches long, and has 26 points of articulation. The figure comes in Titanic Creations Deluxe see-through display box designed by Matt Frank. The highly detailed sculpt is done by Dope Hope and is the first completely film-authentic sculpt ever produced. Production on Yongary will begin after 200 pre-orders have been reached. If this goal is not reached by June 30th, all orders will be refunded. In addition, as we attract more backers, more add-ons will become available. So this is what we talked about in the presentation. Not too many joints. So 26 points. Most of them are in the tail. Or I shouldn't say most of them. Like, you'll see a lot of them are in the tail. Come on. See, a lot of them are in the tail there. So if you have like a NECA figure, you'll get a sense of what the articulation is like. It's not going to be Monster Arts. It's going to be a little bit less than Haya, but it will be good. It will be good. So 14 orders placed already. Okay, I'm just gonna pull that from the... Sorry, I didn't realize that comment was up the whole time. I'm just gonna order my unit. Come on. Boom. Done. Yeah, it looks like the website's chugging a little bit. I think there's quite a few people that are trying to get it. So yeah, here was the comic book Gorgo. I guess there are some left. But I ordered this one because I missed out on the first one. Some of you are gonna think that I'm just trying to be a little shit by saying this, but I promise you I'm not. If you are interested in learning more about what Gorgo looks like or what you may expect from their figures, please go check out Steven's toy review of the Gorgo figure. Okay, he does a great job breaking it down. He's very thorough. I am not being ironic. I'm not trying to be funny or start shit. I legitimately mean it. If you're interested, that's where you should go look, because he does a good job. Titanicus. So this is their OC character. This was their very first figure. It's more in line with like a Bandai vinyl. This was their very first figure. They've acknowledged that there were some issues with it. So I would expect the articulated version will be much, much better. And then they have, where is it? Soul War. This is their original graphic novel. If you wanted to check it out, you can learn more about some of their original kaiju. And as far as I know, the plan is that if some of these kaiju do well, or if these next few projects go well, we will see more of their original kaiju in 6-inch articulated form. Hold on, I just got pinged. I just got pinged by Titanic Creations. Nice. He pinged us to say that the crowdfund has started. as if the stream wasn't happening. But like, this would be pretty cool as like a 6-inch figure, don't you think? Gorgo kind of looks like a toy I'd have in my old dinosaur box. I guess so. Like, I'm sure Gorgo was influential in some regards, some aspects. I think they're planning to do Gorgo graphic novel at some point. Yes, they're doing Gorgo Legacy. If you go to their Twitter page, you can see it. And the idea is that Gorgo Legacy will be part of their own original universe, like where Soul War takes place. So yeah, that is the Yongary party. And it looks like the comments are here. I see them. Yeah, so it looks like the counter's broken on their website. If you click on the thing, it says 11 orders placed. Now it says 14 orders placed. So I am very curious to see if I do this. You don't see anything, right? No, okay. Already broken. That's funny. Saying, just tell them the counter's already broken on the webpage. So, I saw Kaiju Kitty. Kaiju Kitty's already picking this thing up. Is anyone else in the chat picking up Yonggary either today or at some point in the next 60 days? Maybe Spidey Night. Maybe. I get it. Kaiju Kitty just made an order. Bless. Definitely getting it by the end of the month. Awesome. Yeah, it's cool because I think there are the folks that were always going to get this figure. So like myself, Kaiju Kitty. Like, we've placed our orders for this already. But I think as we hit stretch goals, we will start to see value added to the pot for folks that are a little bit more hesitant. And so as they get more accessories, building effects, things that you can display with your creation, your other kaiju action figures, I think it sweetens the pot. It gets more people on board too. Lataro says, I must be really selective with what I buy now. To be honest, I don't have any connection with Yonggary, only Reptilian. Are they not the same? Did we not just establish this? Or are you looking for like a Reptilian version? Is he different looking? Hold on. Reptilian movie. Oh my god, he looks so different. What? Jeez. He's buffed. Yes, he is. What on earth? Here, am I able to... Reptilian is a gym bro? Yeah. Holy. Jesus. This picture makes him look like Shredder from TMNT. Wow. Wow, that is very different. Damn. I thought it was, I didn't realize it was that different. That's really funny. That movie is awful, by the way. Worse than Zarkor the Invader. I don't. I've never even heard of Zarkor the Invader. The irony of being a G98 ripoff while looking more like the original Godzilla than 98 is so weird. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Just double checking that the payment actually went through because I didn't really get a receipt. Let's see. Yes, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Amazing. The movie has a tentacle crab thing that the Shimo people must have loved back in the day. Oh gosh, that's so funny. The Shimo people. Well, gang. Okay, actually, no. I owe Spidey Knight some answers. I think Spidey Knight was asking me some questions. Let me see where. How happy are you with your GXK Monster Arts figures? So, I did not pick up the Kong figure. I'm gonna bring this closer. I didn't pick up the Kong figure because I already have the GVK Con exclusive one with the Mecha Godzilla head, and I love this figure. It's like one of my favorite Kong figures. I just got the highest Skull Island one. I like them both for very different reasons. So I don't have the Godzilla X Kong. But I've heard that minus the accessories, he's basically comparable to this one. And so if he's comparable to this one, he's a little bit cheaper with fewer accessories. I think he's worth picking up if you don't already have him. He's really posable. Is he super accurate? No, but again, this guy doesn't look like the Skull Island Kong either. So the accuracy, if you can get over that, it's a great figure. If you can't get over that, then you'll have to wait for Haya's next attempt, I guess. Godzilla is up there, Godzilla 24. And I do like that Godzilla a lot, actually. I can totally get behind why people did not like it as one of the only as one of the only movie accurate versions of Legendary Godzilla on the market for the longest time. It was basically that mold, or it was Haya or NECA, right? And NECA had its own limitations too. So it was like, if you didn't like NECA's quality control and you didn't like Haya's, or oh my gosh, or you didn't like Monster Arts' stylization, then you were just kind of shit out of luck. But I have Haya's atomic variant now, the translucent version from Godzilla X Kong. So my movie accurate Legendary Godzilla itch has been scratched. Having this one, it's a little bit more stylized. He's more posable. I can get him into completely different poses than my Haya one, and so I like it for that reason. Now, like I said in the video, in Canada, the Godzilla I got for $30 more than the Haya costs. The $30 more does feel like a lot. So, you know, for like the budget conscious who want the monster arts, I'm sure it can sting a little bit. I am happy to have the monster arts Godzilla 2024. I don't see a reason for me personally to pick up this mold again, unless there's some really wacky deco or paint scheme that I can get behind. But I am glad to have at least one version. So like right now I have him sort of like in a crouched, like a crouched position looking up, and he looks really cool. Only 30 more. It's almost 40 more in the US. I thought MSRP in the US was $75 US. I thought the Haya was 51 and that the Monster Arts was 75. Isn't it only a difference of 24 US dollars? You've seen it for 87. Well, it just it sold out at Big Bad Toy Store. I think I was told that. XCOM, because I believe the US MSRP is $75. Oh no, it's on am I able to? So you might be finding it for a higher price, but this is the MSRP. $75. That's what it should be going for. So there might be, these might be in limited supply and distribution in the US, possibly because it's already been distributed so many times. So they maybe didn't issue that many in North America. Because this is sold out at the place that I got mine. It's selling out up here in Canada. Anyway, so yeah, it's a 24 US dollar difference, and it's a $30 Canadian difference between the Haya version and the Monster Arts. People say Haya is doing a better job at making new figures in Evolved Goji. But if you look at the SH Monster Arts G24 and the re-evolved Haya G20, they're essentially takes of both companies on non-evolved 24 Goji, and SH comes with hands and a beam. Yeah, like they fundamentally offer different things. The Haya toys, if you want something that's super movie accurate and moves pretty well, you get the Haya, right? If you want something that's a little bit more articulated, and if you enjoy and or can tolerate the stylization, then you should get the Monster Arts. They offer very different things. I don't think that they can be comparable one-to-one like people try to do. And I don't think that smashing them together to figure out which one is better is the way to go about it. Technically, SH is worth more the buck. Well, if you think the $24 for the hands and beam is worth it, then yeah, sure, it's worth it. But if you don't care about those things and you're on a tighter budget, then the high is a great option. Right? Again, they're very different things. They can offer something for everyone. So yeah, that's where I stand on the Monster Arts 24. And for the folks who watched my video and thought it was a defense of the Monster Arts, my video is not a defense of the Monster Arts. My video is a defense of the consumer. That video could have been done the exact same way with something from Super 7, from Hiya Toys, from Playmates Toys, from NECA Toys. So please do not look at it as a defense of Monster Arts. The Monster Arts just happens to be collateral damage, let's say, in that video. SHG24 just looks bad. It's like they didn't even try. You're welcome to believe that. That's totally fine. The figure is selling out in Japan because people really like it. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. You don't have to like everything that gets made. Do you think SH will do multiple figures like they did in King of the Monsters? Like multiple figures. Can you tell me what you mean, Spidey Knight? Like mini Godzilla variants? Well, we know that there's going to be like a surging blue effect, right? From after he absorbs the reactors in France. Like, I assume at this point, Hiya Toys will do it. Monster Arts might do it. We'll see. I think that once Monster Arts makes an evolved Godzilla mold, that you will see a crap ton of variants of it. I think you'll see a normal version. You'll see a Heat Ray version. You might see, like, Sleeping Coliseum version, where he's dusty. Decisive Battle version. Yeah, I think you'll see quite a few versions. Still really hoping for Monster Arts Evolved Goji. I need that design with fantastic articulation. Hiya won't cut it there. Yeah, yeah. I think that that's totally a fair thing to say. I think that Monster Arts will come in probably like $30 US more, if I had to guess. But again, if you really want that hyper articulated version, Monster Arts is there for you. If you don't care about that much, because you know when you add articulation, you also break the sculpt more, right? Like it's hard to add seamless articulation, and with something like Monster Arts, you will start to break the sculpt apart. So if you care more about the aesthetic of the figure and you only have like a certain level of articulation that you're going for, then Hiya is great. Hiya is perfect. If you want that little bit more, Monster Arts is great. If I had to bet, Evolved Godzilla from Monster Arts will be closer to $100 US. Was the G72 $100 US? He was, right? The thing is that their legendary Godzillas have been more affordable than their Toho Godzillas. And I think that that's a strategic move to make the thing that's like really trendy a little bit more affordable so you can get it into more people's hands. So I could see it coming in at $100 US, but I would say don't be surprised if it's not that expensive. If they're actively trying to sell it at a lower profit margin so that they can sell more of them. I hope SHMA Kong with Beast Glove has a die-cast glove. That would be pretty damn cool. That would be really cool, actually. I would be here for it. Monster Arts can definitely do something like they did back in 2019, where they can do evolved Godzilla like they did poster color, full nuclear blue like they did. Yeah, they will definitely get a lot out of it. 110 tops. Yeah, I don't think it'll go. I'd be surprised if it goes to 110. That affordability might be because reused molds keeps costs lower. It could be. I also think that they're going to try to get as much out of that mold as they can, because it's Bandai. Not making evolved incredibly hard to get like the poster version. Yeah, the poster version is silly. Scorpion, bro, if they do that, I need them. Yeah, if they make a diecast. You know what though? That might be one of the things that helps differentiate from the higher version too, right? Is if it's a higher quality product, more stylization, diecast glove could go a long way. High Evolved Godzilla looks so detailed. Monsters is probably going to be more articulate, but they would charge just like $100 for the figure and would release it a ton with accessories that the first one didn't get. Yeah, probably. They might go to 100. They might not. I don't really have a good gauge for it. They would release a ton of accessories. I mean, Haya is also guilty, right, of releasing accessories with subsequent releases that the first one doesn't get. But Wukong can just have a different arm and everything else is the same. I imagine that's what they would do. Like, this is the Kong. He's basically the same from the movie. I imagine what they'll do is they'll make it so that they'll just take this arm off and plug in a new Beast Gauntlet arm. Talking about mold, do you have any idea why they changed the 2019 head mold? It looks a ton better. Are you talking about Monster Arts or are you talking about Haya? Monster Arts can do an evolved non-charge without a beam effect, and the evolved charge, the purplish one with a beam. Yeah, there are many possibilities. Absolutely. Kong should have a throwable Zuko. Not articulated, just stretched and bendy for weaponized baby purposes. I agree. Okay, so you're saying why they changed the 2019 Monster Arts head mold. I know the person who knows, and the person who knows said he can't tell us. It is a trade secret internal at Bandai. So apparently there is a reason. It was a conscious decision to change it. I don't know why though. I think it was for size posability because it swapped the head part with 2021 and it falls off so easy. Maybe it is that. That's the reason I'm iffy that should I sell my 2021 to get a 2019. Are you able to find 2019s? Are people still selling them? I'm really hoping for a Scar King for Monster Arts. Honestly, the Playmates have been doing pretty good with these Kong ape-like figures, but obviously a much articulated Scar King would be appreciable. I think you mean appreciated. Yeah, I mean, Playmates, I love the Playmate stuff. Like, I know that they're meant for little children, but they are fun toys and they are really great. And I hope that they get to be the thing for a new generation of kaiju fans that, like, I didn't really get a whole lot of when I was growing up. There wasn't a lot of Godzilla stuff on toy shelves, so I hope that these get to be the thing that that make people's childhoods. So Monster Arts Bandai put out a survey asking customers if they would like to see a Scar King. That is not to say that they are not already making one, but they are gauging customer feedback as to whether or not people are interested in one. It's been pointed out that Bandai has yet to make any MonsterVerse original kaiju. So they haven't done Mutos, they haven't done Skull Devils, they haven't done, like Behemoth, Scylla, Methuselah, none of those. They haven't announced a Shimo or Scar King. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll see that from Monster Arts. Nice. I'm glad you like it, Broom. I really wish I got the original 2019 Monster Arts when it wouldn't leave lint in my pocket. I don't know what that means, but sorry that you missed out on it. Tomato, potato, same thing. Just trying to type real quick. I want Playmates to make some of the extra apes because I want them, but not at Haya or SMA. Yeah, I think you want like an army builder. You want a cheap, affordable army builder. I hope the Playmates makes other stuff too. Like, I hope that they make Tiamat or Scylla or Mothra. Like, right now they're killing it in terms of kaiju diversity. I hope Monster Arts Scar King will be in scale with Kong. Well, I think that they have to be in scale. I would hope so. If they're not in scale, nobody's going to buy them. I see. Leaving lint in your pocket means like you have an empty wallet. Okay, gotcha. All right. I got there. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Haya Tiamat would be the figure of the year, lol, but it's unlikely. Hey, never say never. If they're going to pump out more Godzilla repaints, recolors, they might be able to get a Tiamat out there. Like, you already know they're going to do a Frostbite Blast Shimo, so they're going to redeco Shimo. They're going to do, like, Blue Energy Surge Godzilla. You already know that there's repaints coming. The question is, where are they going to put the repaint money toward? Are they going to put it toward, Scar King? Like, I would think that Scar King is already a given. Are they going to put it towards something like Behemoth? Maybe they'll do Behemoth. I think that they should focus on monsters that actually like actively participate and fight other monsters in the movie. So I think Scylla and Tiamat are the obvious choices to do outside of Scar King and others. So question, Broom Criticizer. Does it bother you that the Haya 2014 is an inch shorter than the 2019 and everyone else that came after that? They intentionally made it shorter because he's less powered up. Does this bother you? Does this bother anyone else? No, you love that? I love it too. I like the continuity. If NECA was still around, there'd be a Kong with wart dog guts like that green 89. Yes. Yes, I agree. Playmates not doing all the figures from the movie is really sad. Like GVK, they could have done Tiamat still. They still might. I am under the impression, I've been told, that there are target listings for unannounced Playmates figures that we just don't know what they are at this time. I would imagine there will be repaints, like there were with Godzilla vs. Kong, but there might be some new stuff in there too. You like that it's shorter because that version is canonically smaller, right? Nice. Well, I'm glad folks are on board with them keeping things to scale. I'm going to do a video on this. Probably. But I know that some folks were wondering, since this guy, his production timeline moved up really substantially. Like, he was supposed to come out in November, I think, something like that. But some folks were wondering if him getting moved up meant that the Godzilla X Kong figure would use an articulation scheme similar to this, like a very similar design. And I know that it cannot. And it has to do with scale and figure proportions. So I'll do a video on it. So there's a little peek behind the curtain, I guess. Broom Criticizer. Go to... Do you... Like, I can tell you where to get it. You can get it, like, you can order it right now. It'll be at your house in like 2 weeks. At a pretty decent price if you need a link. Hi, Godzilla 2014 looks amazing. My opinion, wouldn't mind getting it. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me show you where I got my Kong Skull Island. Okay. CoolToysClub.com, based out of China. Right now they have them, and I believe they have them for less than MSRP. But use code SKELLY at checkout. You'll get 6% off, so it brings down the cost even more. Cool. So let me write it in chat. Oh my gosh, it concatenated the lines. Hold on. For Cool Toys Club, use code SKELLY. Okay. It's in the chat. Cool Toys Club, use code SKELLY, you'll get 6% off. And the price you see here includes shipping. It ships from China. For me, it took 2 calendar weeks to arrive from the day I ordered it to my doorstep. From China, that is insane pacing. That is an insane time. Boom, ordered. You'll love to see it. Yeah, it came packaged very well. Actually, let me close this. So the actual box, like, here's the actual box here. And so it came in a mailer, but the mailer had these little plastic corner protector pieces to make sure that your package doesn't get dinged up through the process. I was very, very impressed by Cool Toys Club. Very happy with my purchase. They don't seem to have pre-orders for any of the new Haya stuff, but they do get things as they release in China. So they just got the pre-evolved Godzilla. That's up for order. I imagine that the Mothra Emerald version will be there soon. After that, I think, is Flameborn Rodan. Flameborn Rodan should be up there soon. They still have the Skullcrawler in stock. And they have a couple of units of the Burning Godzilla in stock. And they have Ghidorah, but Ghidorah is wildly expensive. He's far too expensive. You can get him other places domestically now. But for anything new that's coming out from Haya, Cool Toys Club is the way to do it, if you ask me. And to use code SKELLY to save a little bit of money. Debating on Flameborn Rodan or the normal. The normal has far too many orange accents for me personally. Flameborn Rodan has darker color scheme overall, and that's more in line with what I like. But I like that there's options. All right, before I sign off, so as of half an hour ago, there were 31 Yonggaris. Let me see if I can figure out what the number's at now. Normal Rodan looks like a flying Dorito compared to Flameborn. I agree. I like to imagine that the Monster Arts Rodan is pre-Volcano Nap Rodan, as Doherty stated his hibernation changed him. Yeah. Yeah, I liked everything about the Monster Arts Rodan except the paint scheme. Or the color scheme, I should say. People blame Monster Arts for repaints, but what about Haya using Godzilla? Okay. Okay. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. Every toy company is guilty of repaints. Playmates is going to give you a million repaints of their figures. Haya is going to give you a million repaints of what makes sense. Monster Arts is going to give you a million repaints of what makes sense. NECA has given you a million repaints of what makes sense. It's just the nature of the hobby. And if you're going to say, well, Haya does it more than Monster Arts, or Monster Arts does it more than Haya, you're in a race to the bottom, guys. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Accept that it's the nature of the hobby. Pick up the ones that you like, the ones that intrigue you, the ones that you think look great, the ones that you're happy to buy, and leave the other ones for the people that feel that way. Am I able to do a poll? Oh, I can do a poll. All right. Okay. I'm going to do a poll, guys. I'm starting the poll. All right, gang. How many Yonggaris do you think have been sold so far? Get your votes in. $65, gang. It's all good, Goji Jojo. Glad to have you here. I was watching a video where a dude bought a $4 bootleg Lego car from Temu, and most of his complaints about the car sounded exactly what people complain about with SH Monster Arts. See, this is the human spirit. The human spirit's always looking to fight for something. Whether it's a $4 bootleg of Lego or whether it's a $100 Godzilla collectible, there is always something to fight for. Okay. We're ending the poll, gang. Well, many of you said 65 units of Yongary have been sold. We are above 86, guys. We are above 86. As of a few minutes ago, there were 86 figures sold, and I think there have been one or two more in that time. Arter, wait, you can buy it now. Dude, yeah, Yonggary's up, brother. Go to Titanic Creations website. You can buy it. Yo, let's go. Yeah, exactly. It says 14 for... Yeah, the counter's broken. We broke it. The customers have broken it again. It broke for Gorgo. It's broken now, too. But no, I can confirm it is at 86, which means we are just about halfway to getting production rolling on the figure. Isn't it a beautiful thing? Why are only some of the messages appearing? I am selecting them, Spidey Knight. I'm selecting which ones I want to address. just to make it easier. Just to make it easier, so like when this comment is on screen, the viewer knows that this is the comment I'm referring to. So it's all me. No hard feelings if you're not seeing yours. You're gonna order it this weekend, Broom? Hell yeah. I'm also what I'm hoping to do is when I get my Gorgo, I'm going to do a video on it. I should be getting it before the crowdfunding campaign is done. So I'll go over the Gorgo. I'll give you my honest thoughts on it. I imagine it will be a decent release. And if it is, then I will encourage you folks to get in on Yonggary. I want to get Yongary, but I just bought a 3D printer and I'm broke right now. Just print more money. You can do that, right? No, I'm just kidding. You got 2 months. You got 2... Mike. Where's all the coal in this mine? Listen, I'm on vacation this week. That's why I'm doing the stream. There's no coal mining happening right now. See you later, Spidey Knight. Will Titanic Creations sell figures at G-Fest, and once sold out, will Yonggary come back as a special color or issue? I don't know. I think it's too early to tell because this one has not... We don't know if this one will succeed yet. I mean, we're pretty sure because the pace is really good. But depending on how well this one sells, I'm sure that you can imagine that there might be recolors and that future projects will also go into production. Hey, Mike Monsters. Yes, we stand Mike Monsters on this channel. Mike is a treasure. A treasure that can only be found by mining coal. Yo, Godzilla. So Titanic Creations, they do have booths, but I don't think they sell I don't think they've been selling their articulated action figures. They've been selling their vinyl figures. So I imagine they will sell the vinyl figures and their new graphic novel at conventions. You got the glow in dark Mechagodzilla figure by Super 7 a while ago? Yeah, I got him up there on my shelf. I am a big fan of the glow variants. Mike's Monsters, I stan all of you. We stan you back, Mike. Has Titanic Creations said anything on Twitter? Let's see. Bunch of people ordering theirs. Amazing. Great stuff. You love to see it. Titanic Creations has had a few booths at conventions. I've chatted with them a few times at Monsterpalooza. Great guys. Yeah, they seem like really cool people. They do seem like really cool people. I wish I got the OG Gorgo, but at least I got the new comic one. Yeah, I wish I could get the OG one, but the comic one is pretty cool too. Final Wars Goji recently, but they're expensive, dude. Yeah, now that they're out of circulation, they're going to be a little bit more expensive. Big Bad Wolf, I've been seeing the new Super 7 reaction figures locally. Have you swooped any up yet? I have every Super 7 reaction figure. I'm missing... Okay, so that's not true. I'm missing the L-tail of the Marusan, and I'm missing... Actually, I think it's just the L-tail and the Marusan. But no, I have all of them. Is the arm on your Mecha Godzilla a little loose on its right side? Let me check. Yes, it's a little bit loose. Not enough to, like, ruin the figure. It holds its pose fine. But it is a little bit loose. Very hyped to get Yonggary as one of the more obscure characters in kaiju media, and also there's been no figures of him beside the statues. Very hyped to see their Pulgasari. Also, is he 6 inches? So Yonggary is 6 inches. I imagine that Pulgasari will also be 6 inches. I think that's the plan. Titanic Creations will be debuting a animated short. I don't think it'll be today. It might be later this week to kick off and celebrate their Yonggary release. It's going to look really cool. And I think that there's some really cool stuff if you follow them on Discord. They're working on a lot of good stuff. So, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to go make some lunch for my wife as she's nursing and taking care of our baby. And I'm going to go enjoy some time with her because I'm off on vacation this week. So, thank you all so much for watching. I should have some new stuff coming out soon, but I'm going to enjoy my vacation a little bit. So, thank you. Thanks for coming out. I hope you get Yonggary. And if not, I hope you support the release in any way you can. Share it on social media. Hype it up. But I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.